Welcome to the Bard of All Trades podcast. I'm your host, BradElBard, and today I have the Djentleman Jake of Rivers of Nihil.
What is up, my man, Brad? How you doing?
Not too much, brother. And you just got off the tour, but before we get into that, I just want to give a couple shout-outs to my sponsors. If you guys like creative writing and horror and you want to dive into some really cool creative content, check out adarklegacy.net. Links in the description. Additionally, for any martial artists or non-martial artists, athletes out there that are looking for some ways to take care of their body, I've been to this person already, and they've helped me with some Reiki stuff. She's a professional working on the acupuncture certifications right now, hybrid healer. Follow her on Instagram. She's incredible. She's hired by countless different gyms that I've been a fan of, including former Studio 84 there. Definitely check out Hybrid Healer and hire her to fix your body. She'll take care of your body and your mind. Trust me on that one. And finally, I just want to give one more shout out to Valley Jiu-Jitsu. If you guys want to learn how to choke people for 1 week free, mention the Bard. If you're in the Allentown area, we'll get some chokes going. I know Jake actually visited there before, and we showed him how to jack some people up.
I missed the chokeholds already. Yep.
It's always
Gotta
a pleasure.
get back into it, man.
And I have to shout out Sam for introducing us, of course, and for being one of my Patreon supporters.
My brother. Can't forget my brother, Sammy D.
Sammy D. And
the one and only.
Maybe I'll invite him for this little collab we got going on.
That would be great.
That would be cool.
Can't
we need
go
a bass.
wrong with inviting Sammy D.
We need a bass. You know what I mean?
You gotta have Sammy do the bass.
But yeah, man. So I wanna dive into the tour, but you know what I want to do first? I want to know where you came from. Like, what got you into metal in the first place, man?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I guess growing up here in Reading, I lived on a street called Cotton Street.
Ooh,
the row homes.
That's down in the
pretty
south
ghetto
side there.
on the south side here in Reading. And two of my best friends lived right across the street from me that I pretty much known since childhood. Mike Dorman and Seth Cox. We used to skateboard all the time and
Nice.
jam out, listen to music. I think my earliest memories, besides the music my parents kind of introduced me, was hanging out with them, just listening to everything under the radar from 90s grunge to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, hell
and then it kind of moved into the direction of new metal and some punk.
Hell yeah, dude.
And that really kind of opened up the door to that the whole world of music, and kind of started pointing a finger in a direction for me to have this curiosity of wanting to maybe do that kind of stuff,
Can I ask you a question? What was the first metal song that you heard that made you go, man, I fucking want to do that?
Oh man, the first metal song that I heard
inspired you to create it,
I would have to say it was Limp Bizkit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I used to be ashamed to say that, but now it's whatever.
Yeah,
you know
dude,
what I mean? Who
cares?
cares? But it was $3 Bill, y'all. It was a whole album, really. I remember hearing the opening track, and it was just this noise building up into this rage and just this intensity, and it immediately felt that.
Just
and it
grabbed
got me.
you.
Yeah, and
dude.
I was just
especially you're a teenager, the angst in that.
Yeah,
it was
it
perfect.
just synced up, and I was all right, I gotta keep going with this. You know what I mean? And
hell yeah, man.
yeah, it was a lot of music in that genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. So where else did you go with that path, man? So you were hanging out with your buddies,
Hanging out with their buddies.
skating.
Yeah, skating. So I remember a very, very specific memory of walking home from Reading High, and we were all our groups all together, all of us walking home, and we're all listening to our favorite music. And a lot of times we would just pretend that we know the songs and just air jam out everything.
Yeah, dude.
And this one kid, I think his name was Isaac, and he looked at me and he was I think we were in City Park, and he was I can see you playing I can see you being a death metal vocalist, and I didn't even listen to death metal at that time.
Yeah.
I was probably I would say like 16, 17, around that time period. But when he said it, it just like immediately pierced through me and kind of like unfolded this visionary possibility of following that path.
Yeah, like
and,
just
and
you, like that flash of
it.
you being on the stage. Like
Yeah,
fucking was
like,
just there.
I really felt it. And like, it wasn't just like this good idea that popped in my head. It was like something spoke to me, and I kind of made that my mission from there on out to kind of like, you know, try this out and see where this will take me. And I remember, you know, again, like I didn't even listen to anything too extreme at that point in time. I was more into the softer stuff, Avenged Sevenfold, and then whatever else my friends were listening to at that time.
Hell yeah, dude.
But eventually I kind of like worked my way into like finding bands and vocalists that I kind of I identified with, you know, vocally. And I kind of was like, I want to maybe sound like this.
Yeah.
Or
Can you give some examples?
Okay, so you know that band Cold?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. I don't remember the name of the song, but it was like one of their hit songs. It's like it goes something like, "Oh, it's so cold down here." But anyways, I remember hearing that for the first time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to sing this, and I'm gonna like try and like get it down so I sound exactly like him. And then I went from that to like M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold, and then like Fred Durst wasn't really like my style, but I loved his intensity.
Yeah,
so
right?
think,
It's so cool to identify, like, I love the stage presence, but the style's not mine.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I like took different things from different people depending on like what was, you know, what popped out to me.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
But yeah, so it, you know, at that point in time, it was a lot of just kind of like testing out new ideas and kind of just developing a voice, you know, an idea of like what I would want to sound like. And it's before like an idea of like building a band or joining a band even came into picture at that point in time.
You just wanted that skill. Yeah.
I wanted that skill at that point in time, outside of like skateboarding and being a goofball with the guys. But yeah, so that's kind of where it started. And then it wasn't until about 2005 when I moved to Long Island, Shirley, Long Island.
Interesting.
Yeah, I lived up there for a year. I was seeing someone at the time, and I remember I moved up there, and I already like made some friends that were like in that area. They're also in the music scene at that time, and long story short with this, they became like some of my best friends I've ever met in my life, and still to this day.
That's awesome, man.
And I started a band with them, and we were called Off of Their Head.
Not a bad name, dude. I like it.
It was pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
But it was honest. It was young.
Yeah.
It was us at our first time like doing this kind of stuff.
Did you sing with like a British accent? Off with their head.
Off with their head. Yeah, you know, I had to go that route.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I was actually in Long Island with the bus like recently, like in the last month. Dude, so I went to interview a MMA guy, episode 69 actually.
Oh, yeah.
But he, man, dude, parking this in Long Island was a challenge. There's nowhere to fucking park. And everywhere I parked, people are like, yo, you got to get the fuck out of here with that thing.
They're probably like looking at you like, where the fuck did this guy come from? His boss is like half the size of the island.
Yeah, seriously.
No, that's sick though.
Yeah,
that's very cool. What town were you in?
Dude, I wish I could tell you, man. I was on the coast, and I wish I could tell you. Like, I went to this. It was like there was the coast there, and it's like this is where the rich white people live. I don't know how else to describe it, man. But there's a lot of wealthy people. I know there's a coast right there, and there's like a private beach. My buddy Max lives there. And eventually like. I ended up finding out that I could park like pretty much in front of his house, and like no one was gonna give me
no one fucked with you.
It was in like a cul-de-sac.
Damn.
So it was convenient. But yeah, I can't remember exactly like the name of the city, man. I wish I could.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to give you like identifying thing. There's like a golf. There's like a mini golf.
Was it close to
place.
the city or like further away from the city? Because there's like Suffolk County is like
Yeah.
the first half of Long Island, and Mastic is like closer to Montauk Point.
I'm pretty sure it was like if this is Long Island, I
Yeah.
was like here, like northern middle-ish.
Okay,
but
you're
maybe more
probably
the
closer to
be-
where I live then. Because,
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get an idea of
Yeah.
where you're at. That's
Yeah,
sick,
for sure.
though. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Full
a great
circle.
time, man.
Yeah, man. Long Island is just an interesting place, because not only did it have such a major landmark in development of where I kind of was going as a musician and vocalist, but later on down the road, John Tapor are from our band. He's from Mineola. So there's this kind of just reoccurring connection of going back to Long Island, meeting people from there.
Yeah.
But the band I started at that point in time in Long Island, we just played a bunch of shows all over the island, pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think we played maybe like one show in PA, but that era, that period of my life really laid the foundation of like so many experiences like later on down the road. Like we got to play some really cool shows that I even looking back, I'm still like kind of like, how did we get on that bill? Being like the goofballs that we were. But
yeah.
I remember we played a show with like Necrophagist.
Oh wow.
Which is just like.
Was that in Long Island?
That was in Long Island. This band called Across Five Apples. These are bands that are like no longer really around.
I know Necrophagist.
Yeah, Necrophagist, technical,
big,
fucking death metal out the ass. Across Five Apples was from, I'm not 100% sure what era they're from, but I think they're like from the early 2000s, and they were kind of like metalcore, kind of like singing kind of band. They just really hit you here, but then it made you want to get up and like dance and like
that's awesome.
go ballistic. But yeah, these bands like we got to play with and I looked up to so much at that point in time in my life. It just was really just without knowing that this is going to be kind of a path that's similar down the road. And that's what that was for me up until that point. So I lived there for like a year, and then I moved back, and then the band off the head disbanded. I'm pretty sure there's music somewhere online. If you look us up on somewhere, maybe YouTube. I think there's actually maybe one YouTube video of us playing in Philly.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
yeah.
So if anyone's interested in seeing that nonsense, it's up there somewhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But came home from that tour. Came home from Long Island from that tour, and I met a few people that were just local, and John Coons, Ron Nelson, who were already in a band called Amongst Decay at the time, and that was the second band I've ever done up until this point in time. There was Chris San Domingo was the second vocalist. I think Paul Schutte was on guitar at that time, and then our friend Wes we had on bass.
Nice.
And that band really was kind of, for me, where I found myself. It started to kind of like build what would later become a loose identity vocally for me. For Rivers of Nihil.
What do you think was like comparing yourself now to then? Like, what's a big disparity? Like, what's something you did then that like you were like, oh, I grew out of that, or maybe like you sharpened really well?
Back when I was in Amongst the Decay, I was really into like doing guttural vocals. Yeah. So.
Can you give some examples?
Dude, I don't know if I can pull it off right now.
Yeah.
But...
yeah. Dude,
there you go. There's a little guttural for you.
That's hard, dude.
It is, because I was like all throat and I wasn't really using my stomach, and I probably wasn't doing it right. I mean, if there's a right way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that really was what interests me at that point in time, and it was kind of like my way of kind of, I guess, like experimenting with what I could do sonically as a vocalist up until that point in time, and then I guess like after that, it was, let me see, after that particular era of Amongst the Decay,
Yeah.
kind of like me, John, Ron, and then Biggs and Brody, we kind of took a step back and we were like, let's try something different, maybe a little bit more serious, maybe a little bit more honest to the music that we want to really create.
Yeah.
And I think 2009, 420, that was the beginning of Rivers for us. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, like I was really influenced by a wide variety of different kind of sounds vocally. Like Travis Ryan always, I mean, that's pretty standard for a lot of extreme metal vocalists, I guess, in that department, to point at him. But he really kind of just in the principle of just wanting to try new things, not necessarily sound the way he particularly sounds sonically.
Take inspiration
just the inspiration of pushing the boundaries and not sticking to the same thing all the time really stuck with me, and I think that kind of like pushed me further to like drop the guttural kind of technique and maybe just open up my vocal cords and just try to sound like me without trying to critique a certain kind of idea or sound or style, and that was really the beginning of me really stepping into my own sound as a vocalist. And it was a love and hate relationship for sure. Like I mean, I'm like any vocalist, like any musician, like any artist doing anything, I'm sure, but there was definitely a good period of time, when I was stepping into that new territory where I was like, man, I sound really different than a lot of people, and I didn't have anything to refer, like my style to. Going back to like when I was talking about when I was younger and just like trying to like build a loose idea, archetype, for my voice. Now I'm like, I'm just not gonna do that anymore and just do my own thing. So it was a little like it was difficult for me because I was like trying to be patient with myself in the sense of like, your voice is still developing. You're gonna get better at this over time, and still going at it, still working at it,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, it's a journey of figuring out that sound. Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm just thinking about like even myself, like you were saying, like maybe even like your confidence started developing once you started kind of taking a step back and trying to be something maybe you weren't. I mean, that's definitely how it was for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like this year, I feel like I've put out recorded music before, but I've always felt like I wasn't worthy of like the studio yet. Like, man, like this isn't sharp enough and stuff. But just recently, I just started, like, just this in the last like couple years, man. After COVID, like it's not like I've been practicing more or anything, but like my shows, like since I've been playing my shows, I've been recording them more. I've been like taking my favorite couple songs from each show and I've been posting them. Yep. I've just been doing it, and like I'm finally like get like comfortable like with my own voice and like how I perform and everything enough to show it to people, and the feedback's great, man.
That's good.
It's so cool to see that. Like there's this funny meme of like this guy. He's like, oh shit, dude, this fucking the bus is an earthquake machine. Everything rattles apart all the time. But yeah, it's a funny meme. It's like this dude, like it's like a cake contest or something, or maybe it's like a open cake thing, whatever. And he's bringing his cake to the table, and then he looks next to his cake and at this giant like wedding cake, and he's like, "Fuck, man, my cake looks like shit compared to that." And then you see the guy that comes up to eat the cakes, and he's like, "Holy shit, 2 cakes, sweet." And that's how I try to look at my music now. 'Cause it's like people just want more, man.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It's different. It's not better. You know
You're
what
right.
I mean?
That's a really good way of looking at it. You know, the idea of just like putting stuff out and not thinking too much about it. Like it really helps kind of an artist get past himself a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're definitely right about that. I feel like I had to like go through that too. With hearing our music live and then like going back and like listening to it. At that point in time, because I wasn't like posting anything of like my style at that point in time, but you have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, I like that. Oh, these people said this, and it's not so bad after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got like, I don't know how you deal with this, but I know I've had some negative feedback on some of my stuff before.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think like a big thing that I heard recently that I've tried to like keep like resonating with myself is if you get criticism with someone, ask yourself if you would trade your shoes for theirs before you take it to heart.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they're coming from a place that you don't want to be, like that guy's got other problems, dude.
100%. You know what? And that's a really good thing to keep inside your head too, because it's easy to get to be online and like just seeing what people think, and then just get hit by that one comment.
Yeah,
and have
and
it
it's
throw
just a
you
dude
off.
that's a troll shithead.
Yeah. I relate to you. When I was younger, I mean, like. I definitely was. I mean, like people did not like my voice.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Like,
it takes time.
and like I knew it, and I was like, I'm working on it, guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
easy,
But like,
easy.
It's one of those things. Like now I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even read the comments, and it's not that like, it's not because of any reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think sometimes it's cool for me to like just see what people think and maybe get like a little insight on like how they're feeling, about stuff. But like I think especially like right after we release a record, I like to just like give it a little bit before like
you
I
wait
put
for
my
those
head
top
down that rabbit hole
to start circulating to the top and then check that stuff.
It's like sometimes like I want to like keep my mind clear, keep that signal going about how I think about the album,
of course,
or about the music before.
You let it get tainted.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I just had regular car reviews on. You know those guys, Nick Roman and yeah. I just had them on, and they said the same thing. They stay out of their comment section because YouTube comment section's like cancer.
And it is. I mean, it's understandable. Like how people love to just go in there and like check it out. And
yeah, we got a commenter that's asking about Sam being related to you.
That?
Looks like Eagle Scout Mano.
Yes, that is my brother. Sam Dieffenbach is related to Jake Dieffenbach.
Believe it.
Believe it or not.
Please believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Please believe it or not.
Yeah. That's sick, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. So how many band members went from your first project to what is currently Rivers of Nihil? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've dropped members, like, even once you got to Rivers.
Well, we just Brody and Atem right now. Those are the only two besides myself.
Yeah, that are like the originals.
Yeah, the originals.
That's
been
pretty
there
good.
pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah.
So like, it's interesting, kind of seeing, people come and go, and it's sad at the same time.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
It's cool though to still have, obviously, these the meat and potatoes of the band there, because cycling people out, it's necessary, and if you have to do it, you have to do it. But like, I know the guys in the band feel this way, and I feel this way. Like, it's so common now to see bands like just
pull a new guy in,
and like you remember back in the 90s or maybe even early 2000s, like you hear about someone leaving from a band or something. That's a big deal. Now it's like someone's replaced. Oh, they look just like the other guy. It's okay.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
like,
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
but with that being said, nonetheless, we're very grateful and honored to have the people that are on the project
On
with
board,
us,
of
and
course, yeah.
Jared Klein, John Tapor. They're homies. And they're great. So, we couldn't ask for a better group of dudes.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That sounds great. So do you want to kind of dive into like the tour? Or do you want to kind of tell me a little bit more about like one more thing before we get to like the touring stuff? Like, I want to know like what are like what were some of like your big inspirations once you started? Like, I want to know like who you idolized as like a vocalist then, and like who now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like the guitarists that I looked up to then are different than the ones I look up to now.
Okay. Yeah. As a vocalist, I wouldn't say that I was really stuck on one particular person, but there was like a group of people that were kind of like my mentors, my vocal mentors. You know what I mean? And, Nurgle. Nurgle from Behemoth, I really just love the flair of his voice, and like that, like you can hear the fierce attitude in it, like the presence of just his momentum, and I remember like feeling that right off the back the first time I listened to them. And I was like, man, this guy has a really cool style. So Nurgle was one of them that really stuck with me, and it was he had this thing with me that was the way his voice performed. It was like the way I never seen them play live shows or anything up until this point in time. Just like listening to the music, and just hearing his voice reminds me of someone who knows how to like walk on the stage, and just the voice itself, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, his voice knows how to move. So I remember being like really inspired by him, and having those ideas about it. And Travis Ryan again from Cattle Decapitation, like he really was like the kind of guy in my mind, even though his style wasn't necessarily what I use in Rivers, he was the kind of person in my mind that was saying, just try whatever. Don't worry about what's cool to do, what's not cool to do. Just experiment, like be yourself, and also just like keep trying new things, and so like there was that. And I would say Vincent from the Acacia Strain. He just has a bold, powerful, like drop you to the floor fucking voice, and I remember seeing he was actually sorry, the Acacia Strain was one of the first bands out of that group of bands that I was actually able to see at a young age, and it just like blew me away, his performance, the overall.
Let me just double check. Good thing you gave that air. I would have sucked if that would have just died on me. There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
So Acacia Strain.
Oh yeah. So I remember seeing them play a show in Lancaster at the American Legion, like one of the American Legions. It was a floor show, like they were playing on the floor, and they had 3 guitarists at the time, and they opened up with Car Bomb and like just shook the whole goddamn place, and like I was like, man,
what was it, Chameleon Club?
No, it was a place called the what did I just American Legion.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, and just witnessing that in a live presence, I was like, this guy, I'm gonna idolize this guy too. You know what I mean? Because the boldness in his voice just really floored me, and I was like, I gotta keep this in my belt, my back pocket. So here's another one, and Nate Johnson from Deadwater Drowning, that era of Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson played in a bunch of different bands throughout the years. He's no longer doing anything anymore. But at an early age, for me, he might have been the first, before Nurgle actually, the first vocalist that really caught my attention.
Yeah.
His band Blackwater Drowning was just kind of ahead of the curve at that point in time. They kind of had like a blend of everything up until that point that's done in metalcore, and then it was also like just really like grind death metal. And
Yeah.
he was another one of those people that just had a mountain of a voice. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell yeah.
he's like he's so fucking loud, and just, yeah, that kind of presence, that kind of sound really just was key components to like what I thought about or what I kept in mind when I was like practicing my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and now, like, moving to like where I'm at now, you know, like, it's interesting because like I'm not saying that there isn't anything vocally that hasn't inspired me, but at the moment there isn't. You know what I mean? And it's not that there's not anything I don't like. I just haven't found the thing that I do like right now.
Yeah, that's
And,
pushing like your vocal, like your clock's not turning on vocals right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot. Like we've been doing like hikes and stuff like in the last couple of months with Sam, and dude, like you love like the instrumental stuff like Emancipator and like Algorithm, dude.
It's just, you know, it's a nice place to go to where the music can just happen and there's not some V chords telling you how to feel or giving you a side story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, I would say now vocally, if there's any kind of you know, like creative push in a new direction for me, it's just we also on this tour we just started using InEars for the first time.
Cool.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Amazing.
Yeah, because you have like the hearing aids too.
Yeah.
So like you just replace them with the InEars.
I literally take out the hearing aids and you know, I'm in silence for like 5 minutes, put them in, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, connected in, got a really awesome, you know, sound of everything that I couldn't fully hear before.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
Man.
I was. You know, I really needed it, and it, you know, helped me like hear myself differently than I was able to before. And now, as a result of that, I think I'm able to understand the limitations of where my voice sits more. You know, before, you know, it was just playing shows every night and just hoping that the monitor mix, you know, is going to be good enough for me, and hope that outside sound good enough, and me just depending on like what I know and the feeling of my voice inside of me. But with the InEars, it's really helped me understand myself more.
Yeah.
In terms of sound, and now it's kind of like giving me this this comfort space. I can experiment more with my voice now that I can like just
hear it more intimately.
Yeah. So I guess I'm kind of back on that kick of like seeing what I can do. You know,
yeah,
my voice a little bit more.
That's so cool though, right? Like to come back to there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's phases. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, like that. You know, so vocally, you know, I would say outside of the screaming, I you know, there's a lot of like talking vocals. There's a lot of me kind of like just trying to not really sing, but kind of like have that spoken word voice. I've been really just...
Oh, dude, I love that on the last couple albums, man.
Hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah, Brad. I guess I've been like really interested in like learning how to just like really like punch in on that voice and be able to do it the way it sounds like on the album live, you know. So that's really been like a field of interest for me vocally. Outside of the normal screaming kind of stuff, but yeah. I mean, as far as vocals go, that's pretty much where the road ends for me.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing the stories.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I know even before, like you were saying, like in the infancy of the bands and stuff, you would be on the phone with the guys, like with your mom, like downstairs, just like going.
Oh yeah. That's right. Like being younger, we would just like have these sick ass like house phones that like you just like have, you could like hear yourself really fucking well. I remember just like calling my friends and we would literally answer the phone and end the phone conversation all by just like screaming, being like idiots and stuff like that. But it was a good practice space.
Hell
it was a good practice
man.
space because I didn't have a car at that time. I didn't have like that hub space to like really hear myself well. So it's the way to do it.
Hell yeah, dude. And anyway, man, where there's a will, there's a way, dude.
With a will, there's a way. That's the way to do it.
Beautiful, man. I love that. But yeah, man, let's talk a little bit about the tour a little bit. Honestly, man, like I kind of want to talk about like you guys are like, this album was something else, man. You guys, I think this is probably the most progressive thing you put out, dude.
Thank you.
It's fucking different, dude.
And
I like that you kept the sax in there. I like that. Like we had a return of the sax and stuff. What's your favorite song on the new album to perform?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this: we only performed Focus, Clean.
Clean is my favorite song on the album.
Oh,
man.
hell yeah, man!
That song's dark,
that's
dude.
definitely that might actually be my favorite. Besides, Void and Clean are like pretty fucking close.
Yeah,
and we only actually played Void, like I think like maybe 3 times on the tour.
Yeah,
maybe 3 or 4 times on the tour. But within that short span of time, compared to like playing Clean and Focus every night, and I would say Void is a lot of fun. There's a lot of feeling in that song. There's a lot of emotion in that song, and I feel like it the connection between us and the crowd just all together, just like locked in. Mm-hmm. Clean is a lot of fun too for different reasons,
Yeah, right. Different reasons.
It's like doing different things vocally. I get to do the spoken word parts, and that's really fun because I really love doing them because I'm able to like jump into character and really like pull out that.
Yeah, you
feeling.
get to be like Jake, the Jake from Rivers. You get to manifest like the inner demon or what have you. Yeah, dude, that's beautiful, man. I saw like I think was it which song was the one that like you teased? You sent it to me on Instagram. It was like the first teaser from the album.
Oh wait, what was it? Maybe that was Focus.
It might have been, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe that was a song.
Yeah, dude, I saw there was videos of you performing it like in there, and I was like, God, dude, this is about to be fucking heavy,
oh hell
bro.
Yeah, man! Absolutely,
I was so excited for it, man.
Fuck yeah!
Definitely not disappointed at all. Let me ask you, like, where was your creative vision for Where Owls Know My Name, and how did it differ with the work?
Okay, so with Owls. We really entered a territory that like, we all kind of, we entered a new territory for the first time where we like included instruments and different style vocals, melodies. It's a whole different level of progression and sound that we haven't done before up until that point in time with our music. And I think that kind of like re-establish a new beginning, for the interpretation of what kind of music, we make, and also kind of like, in a way, gave us a more recognizable expression of the face of Rivers of Nihil as we're moving forward.
Yeah.
And more honest to how we feel about music and what we want to play, and I think, because the album did so well and people really, really loved it,
Yeah, dude, you were ahead of the charts there for a while, man. It was amazing.
It was a very, very awesome and humbling experience, with that album, how everyone just really soaked it up, and with the way everyone received it and how everyone enjoyed it so much, it really kind of made us understand. But like allowed us to feel a little bit more comfortable in the direction of we were already going in.
Yeah,
with
just
the work.
experimenting with
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the work is definitely not what Owls is, but it has a lot of things that, you know, can remind people of what that album was to them.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
in its own new way, its own new territory, and
It seemed like there was a lot of cool stuff you guys did in post, man.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how you interpret that on stage. I'm upset. Like, I can't wait for you guys to perform again because I'm definitely gonna get out there for it, man.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's always interesting, like, you know, releasing an album and then get back into that pocket of like playing these songs live and like seeing how the performance is going to unfold and like what characters and what feelings are going to like
dude.
come up when you're on stage, and you know you know, both of you know, the work and Owls are just, you know, they're just so much fun. You know, the level of involvement with all of us, you know, with, you know, the vocals, I should say. There's more vocals involved.
Yeah.
It just and then, like, you know, the music is doing so much more too. It really kind of like allows us to feel more honest to our creative live show potential, I guess.
Yeah, dude. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. So
It seems like you're really in tune with like your creative, like the creative side of yourself. Like you're really just letting it run wild now.
yeah,
Like you're finally at the point where like your fan base is established enough, and I feel like just the way music is now, man, you're just so much freer to just experiment. You know?
it's one of those things, you know, like, no matter how much a band is honest to themselves and continues to write records the way they want to write them, while also keeping, you know, the listeners in mind. You'll always get two sides of the you know, two sides of the coin.
Man,
And
these guys used to be so hard, man. This isn't heavy
Yeah.
enough, of course.
but, you know, it's okay either way, and you know, any attention is good attention, you know, and you know, it. But we're very grateful. We're very grateful that so many people too have like really have, you know, taken this album to heart, like they did with the last one. So
hell yeah, man.
yeah.
That's incredible, dude. So your little bro's commenting over
Oh,
here.
what do you say?
Dreaming Black Clockwork ending is savage. It sounds like a physical descent into chaos. Dude, I will say, man, that song, yes, dude. Like I'm with Sam on that, dude. That song specifically, dude, I felt like it was a mixture between like some fucking like Spawn and Star Wars, like the Empire thing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like, dude, like the legions of like some like like tyrant wraith deity like is amassing his skeletal army to like do his bidding across the land. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah,
Dude,
man.
that's how it felt, dude. I was in here like before I picked you up, kind of just listening to it one more time just to like get a little sharp on it. And dude, I was like, damn, dude, I had to stop what I was doing and just like absorb that. I was like,
Fuck yeah, dude. I seriously, like, I told the guys, I was like, man, whenever the time comes to play that song live, it's gonna be turn the fuck up.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, that song is just,
It's progressive
yeah,
as hell,
dude. That's a number fucking 10
Yeah,
all
dude.
the way through. And kind of like Sam just said, sounds like a physical descent into chaos. Yeah, the end of that song, man, just fucking tears you apart. Yeah, I feel like that's what it's supposed to do. Just break you down.
Yeah, dude. It's so good, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fucking all right, man. So let's talk a little bit about like where your music tastes, like your inspirations and stuff have been coming from as of late, right? Like, so you've been listening to a ton of like these instrumental bands. Do you want to kind of like tell me like what's like a good like a couple day stretch of you? Because I don't want to. Your whole week's probably a total litany of things, but like a good couple days. Like what are you listening to? Like when you wake up, when you go to sleep, kind of stuff. When you're going on your run at Nolde.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I really like listening to just like instrumental music, like electronic. like ambient electronic. I don't really know. I'm not a genre guy, but like,
dude, it's hard to even define the genre
yeah,
of a lot of these.
I try not to pay attention to it because I don't want to like identify with the genre. I just want to like listen to the music.
Yeah,
but
what feels right.
Magic Sword is one of the bands that's really epic.
When we took the picture for the thumbnail, you had them on in the backpack, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
They're just like a really epic kind of like they have like this metal vibe to them, but they're obviously electronic band, and it just feels like you're listening to like a Zelda soundtrack kind of deal.
It felt like. Hell yeah, man.
Music like that, like I like waking up in the morning and creating a soundscape that is going to kind of like build the present for the rest of the day, kind of like get me moving in the right direction, and in the morning, like I like to listen to stuff like there's another band, Master Boot Record.
Oh yeah, and like the algorithm, dude. Yeah, all those guys. Dude.
Oh yeah,
so fucking good.
Bolts Infinity. I think I'm saying it right. The algorithm's like other project. It's like an electronic kind of atmospheric group. It's just really out there.
Yeah.
Smoke weed, turn that on.
It's a good
time. Go for a run.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean like like really all over the place, with and another thing I do too is like I wake up in the morning and I don't use Spotify. So a lot of the music I use is just like on YouTube Music.
Dude,
and
that's so funny. Like I'm like one of the only people I know that does that. That's so funny that you do too.
Yeah, a lot of people on Spotify is cool. I just don't. I've never got on that. On that.
It used to crash my laptop. So
really?
I stopped using it. Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah. Do you have an Android or an iPhone?
I have an Android.
Dude, I'm about to change the game for you. Do you know about New Pipe?
What?
New Pipe, the app. Dude, so check this out, dude. This is actually some of your music right here. So I can play it, no ads ever. Like, look, I'll click on any of your videos right here. Whoa. Dude, so and check this out. And check this out, right? So we're going to play it. You know what? I just want to listen. I'll go to my home menu.
What is it called?
New Pipe.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's
I'll
only
have
on
to check it out.
only on Android, so yeah.
I might get in that because I'm kind of at the end of the road with YouTube a little bit. It's getting kind of boring.
Well, it's just it accesses YouTube. It's YouTube.
Oh, it is YouTube.
But it bypasses the ads, and it's like a privacy tool, honestly. Yeah.
Oh wait, so it's YouTube Music the app?
Well, no, it's New Pipe.
Oh.
Trust me, bro. New Pipe.
Okay.
I'll show you it later.
Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Right on.
It's it only available on Android, but yeah, like it doesn't trace like in YouTube, like it traces like all your stuff. This like it doesn't connect you to an account, so it's kind of like a proxy to YouTube.
Oh.
That's how it bypasses the ads and stuff.
So it's just literally just play music right off the back.
Yeah, dude. It's
like
so
that.
convenient, dude. It's so convenient. I'll make a playlist and just like go no ads.
Are you able to like? So basically, it's everything that they have on. You're
YouTube,
able to like
but
look
the
up
way
new
it should
artists
be.
kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Literally anything you look up on YouTube is there.
It's right there.
And
Well,
you can download the files, like
word?
on a plane or something.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it's the move, bro.
Now you have me sold.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to fucking get it.
Hell yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
free.
man,
It's
like
a free app. It's awesome.
That's
I'll
sick.
send you the link later.
Guys, send me that shit.
But hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to put my friends on. I think I told Sam about it too. He's got it.
We gotta get Sammy D on it. Sammy D, go download it right now.
For sure. But yeah, man, let's talk a little bit about so I kind of want to talk about like some of the adventures we've been going on, like a little bit. So we've been doing like a lot of hiking, and like I remember like for Sam's birthday actually, like we went to like the Pittsburgh area. We were hiking and stuff, and I remember like we were doing some rock climbing. We got you on the wall, which was super sick.
Yeah.
But man, like you're over here doing like some Wim Hof stuff, and that was sick because then like that kind of made me invite you to the other stuff, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Like, the cold dips. But man, like it seems like you stay in tune like with your body, like you're not letting yourself like get fat or like out of shape, even though like it's probably got to be really tempting when you're on the road, especially like as a musician, man. McDonald's is the only thing open after these shows.
Oh yeah.
How do you keep like your mind and oriented on like like we got to take care of number one here.
Yeah, it's not easy, like being on the road and being at home, for Christ's sake, it's easy to fall into those pockets of not caring and not taking care of yourself. And, I've done that so much in my life, and I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
Regardless of how many workouts or what I'm doing, but I mean those exercises, they really help me. They just really help me kind of stay grounded with myself and also keep myself sharp. I feel like I'm constantly charging myself anytime I'm like, we're going for a run or doing the Wim Hof. It's really a way of me just like rekindling myself and coming back to like my center. But it's when we were where were we when we were at Sam's birthday, when we were doing the rock climbing stuff.
Yeah,
like that really, when we were there hanging out, we were having a great time that weekend. And I remember we all went to go do the rock climbing stuff, and I wanted to do it, but I was scared. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna I'm get like halfway up this wall and like not be able to do it. But I remember specifically when I got to the top of that, I was like, if I just keep going and I keep working out and I keep pushing myself, I'll get past that hub of like thinking I can't do this, or and we all have gone through this, but like, so the working out and keeping myself in shape, I have to do it. I mean, there's no question about it. Like otherwise it's like I end up being a lazy Dieffenbach lazy Dieffenbach potato chip.
Yeah. At least you're delicious, right?
Yeah, exactly, right?
So
a little salty, but
let me ask you, how did you get into like the breathing exercise and the grounding stuff? Because like that is something that until I really got into like the Wim Hof stuff, like I actually had like a breathwork expert on my show. I don't know if you saw that episode. It's really good.
I was checking that out.
Yeah, Natalie Boss, and dude, she is like super good. Like, and we were actually talking about this on the hike.
On the hike.
Stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
I filmed like her instructional and stuff, and we did like some demonstrations and stuff. Man, that stuff is so important, man.
It really is.
Like, even like especially for like the jiu-jitsu, but dude, like this thing is stressful as hell to drive in traffic.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll be catching myself just
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's one of her things that she told me, like in her instructional, just a teaser, so you guys got to go check her out on Instagram. But yeah, man, like just like the way to calm yourself is like to make sure you do the vocal to remind yourself like, oh yeah, like that's like your cue to like, all right, like
catch yourself.
Cortisol go away. Like, let's fucking the stress stuff go away. We're coming back to normal here.
Exactly.
Let's handle this situation for what it is, and not
100%. It's such a simple thing, but it's so easily forgotten and overlooked. Like, to just catch your breath and to be able to know that you have that power right there within inside you. Not without trying to sound cliche, but like, breathing is probably the number one most important thing that we can all do in a way to change. Maybe not exactly what's happening right now in this moment, but like in time it will. And like, it
is a skill, right? Like in time it will, 100%.
In time it will. Like, practicing something over and over and over again isn't necessarily so much for like for the breathing stuff for me isn't so much necessarily to perfect it and become perfect at it.
Yeah. But
the benefits of what it's doing for me outside of that exercise, like every day I would say I've been doing Wim Hof for like maybe four years now, and I think what I actually heard about him like years and years and years and years ago, and I think at that point in time there wasn't a lot of information about his technique. He was just known as the Iceman, and how he had this technique where he could be, in the water for a long period of time and set all these Guinness World Records, but his technique wasn't quite revealed yet, and I wasn't 100% sure on how it worked. Yeah. But I remember being really excited about it and really like sucked into it. Like I'm like, this guy knows something. I want to check this out, So being into that kind of stuff, and like I've always had this really like deep interest in alchemy and like understanding just how we can change how we feel for the benefit of ourselves, and to not think that it's anything more than that. just I've always had a real interest in like what this body can do and what its limits are. So when I stumbled upon him, I was just like, I really gotta like learn this somehow. And it wasn't until like years later after that that I came across it, and I found out that he had the app, and I was like, I'm gonna try this out. And I don't in the beginning, I don't think I did it as serious as I do it now. Like now I do it like almost every day, if not like twice, maybe 3 times a day. But like morning, lunch, at night. And it, these are just things that kind of, again, like really help me stay centered. But on a deeper level, it helps my, my body circulation. I feel like I'm more focused, I'm more clear. I'm also, I'm not in my head. I feel actually like I'm present in my body. And I think it's a really common thing that, like, I'm not saying, not to generalize, but I think a lot of us go through anxiety, maybe like overthinking a lot. And I was definitely one of those people. I was one of those people like overthinking a lot, over dumb things. And I was like, I need to find a different outlet, and this kind of like helped me not necessarily stop thinking, but help me become more grounded in my body.
Yeah, and almost like let the bad, like the chaotic thoughts pass through you. And focus on the ones that matter. Yeah. I can relate so much to what you just said, dude.
Oh, 100%. Exactly. It's because anybody who's at war with themselves, in their head, no one wants to be dealing with that. And like how do you walk away from that? So I was kind of just like, I need to try this out and just see where it goes. And man, it's just a profound thing, because the feeling of being arrived in your body, and not having to compete with what the mind is relaying to you. There's no place there's no state I'd rather be than that, because that feels like home. It feels like home, and it's like, I remember, like, I would say it was probably about maybe like 2 years ago when I really started going hard with this. I just noticed, like I was not overthinking anymore, I at that level, when I was doing it all the time, and I was doing it with the cold showers too. And it just really, really, really helped kind of like clear that.
You were doing the cold showers?
Yeah, I was
in
doing
the
the cold
winter time.
Oh yeah, I would take.
That's hard.
yeah, it was. I was like, man, this sucks. But I was like, let's just see what I can do. Let's just push the fucking limits here, and let's just see what I can do. And that was really, at the end of it, that was the motivation. The motivation, it may have been to like help me, get rid of this, get rid of that. But at the core of it, it was like, let's see what possibilities can arrive out of this, And I that's why I keep going with it.
For sure.
So.
And we even went and did like the cold plunges, like out here in the Reading area over here on the
Antietam Lake.
Antietam. That's what it's at. Yep. And man, like I'm so happy I invited you there. The first time we brought you out, you lasted longer than me. But man, like that's such a cool thing to, like you said, man, like it's almost, and I love what you said about like, I'm not trying to do this to perfect it, right?
Yeah.
It's just a tool to level me out, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, like that's like trying to say like, oh, I want to perfect knowing how the screwdriver goes in the screw and perfectly
yeah, right?
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another really cool thing that kind of like is helping discipline this moving vehicle on its journey moving forward, and like I love it, like going for a run. And I'll tell you, like we were just talking about, I went for a run at Nolde Forest, and because of your suggestion, thank you very much.
It's a good trail.
And I remember I listen to music when I'm running, and my my hearing aid batteries died.
Oh man.
And I was like, fuck, man. I was like, I don't know if I want to run with that music. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. And I ran all the way up around the big loop at Nolde Forest. And, you know, I made it back to the other side. And like, my legs were, like, pretty, like, you know, tight and sore. I sat down and I, you know, got into the breathing. And, like, literally, after I was done, my legs were completely fine. Like, they weren't sore anymore. It's almost like I was able to completely replenish myself after a small workout.
Yep, just re-enrich that oxygen.
Yeah,
man.
you know what I mean?
love
So
that shit,
the
dude.
recovery process with
is.
this exercise is really, really effective. And that's the other thing, too, is it's like, you know, well, when I'm on tour, we're playing shows, you know, like, this is a great exercise, like, right before I go on. You know, like, it has this way of like you honing in on the focal.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like you're able to really feel the potency of your being and be able to like find that focus point.
Yeah, dude.
And that presence still kind of like lingers over after you're done doing the exercise, and then you get on stage and you're like, you're wearing that suit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Iron Man.
You're wearing that suit. You know what I mean? And yeah, so. And the cool thing about it too is it's like it's not just an exercise that amps you up, that pumps up your adrenaline. It can equally calm you down.
100%,
make
man.
you really relax. Like, you know, if I'm doing it in the morning, you know, instead of drinking coffee, which I used to do, you know, I wake up, drink coffee, I'll do this, you know, and I'll be good to go, you know. And you would think at night when I come home and I would do it before I go to bed, it would keep me up all night, but I literally am ready to fall asleep right afterwards. I don't even want to finish it. I'm just like ready to pass out. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's you know, it's a fun little tool. You know,
yeah, man. Well, dude, I love how you brought up that you're using it like pre-show and stuff. Can you tell me about like your pre-stage rituals a little bit? Like, what are some of your vocal exercises? I want to know the breathing exercise because I'm about to try that for tomorrow for my show. Before I go on.
Absolutely. So for like vocal exercise before a show, I do for this last tour I do this fry warm up where I go through all the vowels and
you were telling me
it's like you just go over and over and over, and then basically is allowing that part of my throat that's really shaping the guttural sound, the scream sound to really open up, to relax, be ready to go. And I'll do that, and I'll also just scream into a corner, go from quiet to loud, and you know, I like to also like hit like beat on my on my chest and on my arms. You know, I like to wake up my body, and I really like to like feel like I'm like already kind of just did a little workout or something before I'm ready to go on stage.
That's cool. Yeah,
you know, I want to be alive. You know?
Going,
not that I just woke up.
Yeah.
So I'll do that, and you know, it's my warm up before I play is kind of like a loose thing. I do have a few things that I do, and I kind of do them in a different order every night. You know, I really just like to feel the vibe that I'm moving in. I kind of work with that, feel the vibe of the crowd, and kind of just like fall in the character. I don't want to over practice or warm up before I go on.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before.
Yeah.
Like, psych myself out, and then you go on stage, and you're like,
oh fuck yeah.
But you know, I like to stay hydrated all day. You know, that's another part of the warming up technically for the show, and being quiet. You know, a lot of my day I'm just not talking. You know, so I like to save it for the stage and get on there. You know, be the first thing I said all day. Pops a little bit more. I don't know.
That's cool. What's the breathing exercise that you do?
The breathing exercise
on stage.
So the breathing exercise I do a thing called the 4-7-8. The 4-7-8 is just a simple breathing exercise. You get to like warm up your chest and open up your chest. It's real simple. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, like So and at the same time, you want to have your hand over your heart.
Yeah.
So you're like
so you just do a
warming up the
4-second
air.
inhale.
Yeah. With your nose. Though.
Oh,
so,
just the
your
nose.
So it's like a. And then you hold for 7 seconds. Out for 8.
And how many times do you do that?
I will do that for like, oh man, however many times I feel it until this whole thing is warmed
it's ready.
up.
Yeah.
Whole thing's warmed up. So there's that. The Wim Hof really is my breathing exercise before I go on.
Yeah.
The vocal warm ups are really kind of exercising my breath, kind of being able to move from my diaphragm up into my throat,
using the full range of the tools, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. The breathing exercise is actually not about the breath. Breathing exercise is more about the power behind my breath. But yeah, it's a combination of different things. It really depends on the night and what vibe I got going that night. Sometimes I do a little chanting, yeah, I'll do that in the back. Get my body, get myself ready to go. Yeah, I guess it really depends.
Yeah,
on what
on the show and shit. Yeah, it depends like how much you drank the night before or whatever.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sure there's a lot of like shit going on with that.
Yeah.
So on this most recent tour, like, what was can you give me like a memorable story that you had? Like maybe you ate some like crazy food at a unique place or something.
Let me think here for a second.
Someone threw their panties at you on stage.
No, we didn't have any of that,
time, right?
unfortunately. Let me see. Any interesting tour stories? Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, like there was a story I told you earlier. I'll just tell you that story because that's the story to tell.
So the name of the tour, right? Like.
So the name of the tour is Up from the Sewer.
Yep.
And Up from the Sewer tour, and we were in Detroit, and at Black Dahlia's hometown, home city, and we're moments before. I'll say moments, but maybe like 30 minutes before the venue opened, and I guess the sewage backed up, and like everything was like over flooding. It was so like they had to like push back doors for like I don't know, and like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah. I just thought it was funny. We're on this tour called Up from the Sewer tour at Black Dahlia's hometown, and it flooded out from the sewer. So the sewer. I mean, like this tour was really like I would say it was like laid back. It was kind of one of those tours where we were all coming out of COVID brain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
How do you think people like received you? Like were the mosh pits like everyone wearing masks? Like what was going on with that?
You know, it's interesting you say that because like before tour, I was really like, I was kind of curious like how this whole thing was gonna roll out, and not that there wasn't shows prior to our tour or tours prior to our tour, but like I didn't know, and but when we got there, kids are hanging out like they would as if COVID never happened. And you know what? That's sick. That's sick. Yeah. Because, if you're going to go to these shows, you're going to have a good time. You don't want to be that guy who's like worried about something while you're there having a good time, Just go and have a great time and get in the pit and run around and be ridiculous. And that's exactly what everyone did. Everyone had a great time and they were hanging out all night. So, the tour was really great, like really successful. I mean, the bands were
happy
great.
To hear that.
Yeah. Like we were all a little nervous coming on the road, like with how everything would work in terms of like COVID and, with policies and stuff like that. And, but everyone was doing what they needed to do, and everyone was safe, and yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah,
Had a
dude.
really good time. So,
That's awesome, man.
yeah, I would say it was like one of the first tours. I mean, granted, maybe it's because we haven't been on the road in 18 months, but like it's like one of the first tours that like I felt like it went by so quick. Like
Yeah.
I could have kept going. I was ready to go
sure.
for.
When I heard you were back in town, I'm like, already? I felt like you weren't gone that long at all.
Yeah, it was quick. I mean, it felt quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
It was a fun time. It was a really fun time.
That's amazing, man.
Hell yeah.
Let me ask you this, yo. So you've been playing around a lot. You've been playing live shows. You've seen your share of mosh pits. Where is like the craziest mosh pit ever been that you like directed?
Man, I would have to say somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Somewhere
You
in
go
Europe.
hard in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe. I can't remember exactly where, but somewhere in Europe. Or, you know what? Like, I've seen some pretty crazy mosh pits when we played Heavy Montreal. That was a
Not what I
pretty
would expect.
that was a pretty intense experience, and the crowd was just insane. The Wall of Death is always the thing that gets me. You know what I mean? Like,
I bet.
I'm like, all right, here it comes. So,
You have any stories? You ever see someone just get like annihilated?
well, I mean, it's like a minor story, but like we were on the Europe tour, the last tour before this one,
Yeah.
and wasn't that big of a deal, but like I guess like we didn't know that we couldn't do the Wall of Death, but we've been doing it all the way like for like X amount of shows up until this point. And someone on the tour package was like, "Oh yeah, you guys can't do that anymore." So we were like,
man.
"Oh really? That sucks." Wall of Death, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But no, I mean like fortunately no one has gotten hurt,
Yeah,
you know,
trash.
and
I feel like the Wall of Death is not the most dangerous thing you can do.
No.
There's
no, I think crowd surfing or not crowd surfing, stage diving.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
I've definitely had my run in with that. That's
Yeah, tell me about it.
oh my god. So, all right.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right. So I was at Reverb. This was fuck, I don't remember. I had a fucking concussion, but
Back in the day.
it was a while ago. And I was at Reverb in Reading, and Decrepit Birth was playing, and we played. I think, who the fuck was it? Who else was on that show? God damn it. Their name is like, their face is like right there in front of me. I can't remember. Anyways, so Decrepit Birth was playing, and the guys in my band were like, all right, let's go stage dive during Decrepit Birth. I was like, yeah, let's go do it. You know what I mean? Like, and,
Yeah.
and I get up there, and I'm getting ready to go. You know,
Were you
getting
the
ready
first one?
Getting ready for a liftoff.
Were you the first one of your group to do it?
Second one.
All right. So you at least got to see it.
If I would have known, I would have definitely put on my Buzz Lightyear outfit because because where I was going was bold. And I'll tell you what, man, so I went to go jump off the stage, and my friend Timmy Thorne, if you're listening to this,
Dude, I know Timmy Thorne.
Timmy
dude.
Thorne.
I used to live on the same block as him. We played hacky sack back in the day.
No shit. Where at? What block?
1300 block of
shit.
Locust Street.
He's a great guy,
Yeah,
man.
dude, I love
He's a
that
really
guy.
good dude. Known him for forever. So he was crowd moshing, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, and without knowing that I was jumping. So I'm like going to jump over the barrier, off the stage, onto this crowd that he's moshing into,
Yeah.
and he just takes out the whole crowd, and there's like no one there. So I'm just like, to infinity and literally just like fucking ate shit, hearing aids, like just like pop
That's
out,
fucked
and
up.
like it was scary. I mean, it wasn't scary for me. I was fucking out cold, but
Yeah.
like everyone. I mean, from what I heard, like crowd just like stopped. Band stopped. Everyone was like,
Oh shit.
and I'm just like out cold, like face down. but I got rushed to the hospital, and I was okay.
Yeah.
Thank
God.
I was laying in a bed. This is weird. I was laying in a bed, and this goes out to like all the old school Rivers of Nihil fans that would know this, but there was a wooden cross in front of my hospital bed, and I was like singing "Birth of the Amen Savior," and there's like lyrics in there that clearly are like describing the situation, and I was just having this weird moment where I was stuck inside a Rivers song. I was like, okay, hopefully I don't have a concussion. I'm just inside the song, and that'll be it. But yeah, that was my experience with stage diving, and I pretty much have never done it. Well, I can't say I haven't done it since then, but I was really cautious since then. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I used to be a big mosh guy, but kind of retired that cap.
Yeah.
No longer a moshaholic.
Yeah.
Go to meetings regularly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But moshing days are over.
Yeah.
Can't meet with the bros in the parking lot anymore.
Yeah. That's
But
funny as hell.
yeah, man. Craziest crowd interactions. Too many, man. People just dancing. Yeah, that's one that I've been really trying to get people to do. It's just like, obviously not for the songs that are like,
Yeah.
mosh worthy, but like songs that you can move around. I would love to just see the crowd fucking dance. Like just like grab the person next to you and like let's go. I'm gonna make that a thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that next time we play.
Hell yeah, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta make like some ballad songs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. So yo, this is like I want to know what has been your proudest moment since you've been in Rivers.
Proudest moment. Oh man.
Take your time, man. That's a big one.
It's a big
Yeah,
one.
you got to run through the logs now.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say when we signed, that might have been one of them. I think there's other moments that are pretty fucking close, like kind of sound kind of like corny or whatever, but like Nate Johnson came out to like one of our shows, and here I was like I said earlier, a really big fan of like everything he's done up to that point in time, and came up to the table, and I was like selling merch table, and he was just like, like you're like one of my favorite vocalists, and that for me, that was like a really proud moment for me. It was just like for it to go full circle like that, like me, like liking that dude and what he did vocally, and it come back to me. But as a band, I'm proud of everything we do. I really am. It's hard. I don't like picking favorites. I mean, there's some moments that definitely stick out more than others, and I really like, like this is a memory, that defines the next, the next era of our band. Every time we put out a record, every time we complete a tour, every time, we get off stage, every time we have to deal with something that we didn't see coming, and
you get through it.
We just have to get through it, when we, I'm proud of us, when we're not doing so well, but then we find the will to keep on going, and keep this band alive, there's like I said, there's definitely like a lot of different things, different memories, different elements to what makes this band what it is, that makes me proud to be in it, and I definitely feel that every aspect is worth like having that kind of feeling for, because you never know when it's gonna be gone. And not to be like
going downhill with it. But like, with the COVID thing, and like, great, things are seem to be fine now. And
Yeah, well, you know what, dude? Like, so many bands fell apart. Like, even me, like, after I couldn't perform anymore, like, we just stopped practicing,
Yeah.
Even me, myself, like, I fell off a guitar for a while. It was a dark time, and then Jiu-Jitsu kind of saved me and re-motivated me to get after it.
Yeah.
And then the bus is here now, and
Yeah.
we're touring ever since,
Exactly. So it's a bunch of different things that keep the gears going, keep the motivation flowing, and sometimes having these moments where not really sure what's gonna happen ended up being that time where you can find those key components to spring forward, and I feel like during COVID we really had that. Had the opportunity to like take a couple steps back and like look at ourselves, look at the band, look at like what we have done up to this point, what we want to do. There's a lot to be proud of. There's a lot to be thankful for and grateful for. And I mean, I think it's easy to fall into that pocket of being on the grind, and I know I've been there, doing something so many times, and you're like, you get to a point where like, it's, you don't value it the same, you know what I mean? And with this band and pretty much everything in my life, I try to always have that value factor in front of me, like remind myself, well, what is my value with this? Like, why am I doing this? And it's easy to lose inspiration sometimes. It's easy to fall off the horse, and not all of us have people that we're playing with, so like, Brad, you play by yourself, you know what I mean? And you play with other people, but you play by yourself,
like,
and
primarily I feel like at the moment, like, I would love to have a band, but dude, like, you're living the dream, bro. It's so hard to find a team of guys that are committed to that level, you know what I mean? Like, you've said it, you've been in some amazing projects that just fell apart because it just happens, man.
It's just got to keep the gears going, and I mean, like, every time you think you hit a wall, and then you prove yourself differently, you get past that, it's like, wow, let's bring the next challenge, and you start to see that life is just a learning stimulation, you know what I mean? The problems may be problems from one angle, but really maybe they're an opportunity on the other side, they're an opportunity to unknot something, the unexpectedness of how I could like fix this situation that arises that I didn't know was going to happen, and I think, like, these are all things that, like playing music, traveling, they're all important, they're all important. They're all there. They're all part of what makes it what it is, for us. For me, it's easy sometimes to like, I can't say that I never had like thoughts of feeling like I lost it or like, not sure if I'm going to keep going with this anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely had those thoughts before in the past, but it's like when you've been doing something for so long and you know it so well, and it's like become your the discipline, it's a discipline function, you know what I mean? Like, and it's also an art, like I couldn't walk away from it. I can't walk away from it. And regardless of what goes, wrong in, there's so many problems that can arise at any point in time, anywhere. Why not learn through this one where I'm doing something I love, doing something passionate about, and I think that is enough to keep me inspired. You know what I mean? Because, if the person likes what they're doing, you like what you're doing, that's good. Are you good at it? It's okay. You work on it. You get better. You know what I mean? And you feel a little uninspired. You know what? it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it happened. But me as like we were talking about earlier, like trying to actually find something new vocally for me. Like I actually was thinking about that for a little bit. I was like, I don't know where to go with this. And I think the fact that we're like, not to get off topic, but like the talking stuff really kind of has that. So I've been kind of like trying to grab myself a little bit more on that, keep the inspiration moving when I think in terms of like my own creativity vocally, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot to like ponder on and stuff. So yeah, let me ask you, like, what are some projects that are out there, like some death metal projects that you think are like underrated? Like what's some stuff that's like on the radar that you feel like, man, like these guys aren't getting like the credit that they deserve or something?
Oh man. I honestly haven't been listening to too much death metal right now.
Yeah, yo, fair enough, man. I know you have been into like a completely different genre, which is so funny because I'm not dissimilar from you in that capacity. Like I'm listening to a lot of like instrumental stuff, but then I'm writing a lot of like singer-songwriter kind of like I don't even know if I could call it singer-songwriter stuff because my stuff's so weird, dude.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like who's been inspiring you?
Yeah, man. So like lately I've been listening to like you know who I fucking love, dude? Vola. I sent you them before.
Yeah.
Vola is so good. Sky Harbor. Just these really big fucking bands that have like these big music. These big things like Leprous.
Yeah.
And then like
Leprous.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
We
Like,
were
their
listening
new
to them.
album.
Yeah,
We were.
Very sick.
Dude, and it's just like it's big music and it's just so awesome. But I find like the stuff that I'm performing, like it. First of all, like it hurts to not have a band when you're trying to like emulate things like that. But at the same time, like I'm writing stuff that's like almost like I like to put like I don't know why, but I love to mix like some distorted vocals into like my acoustic music. You know what I mean? Like I just wrote a song recently. You'll see it tomorrow.
Oh,
if you're
fuck
at the
yeah.
show. It's inspired by a jiu-jitsu tournament that I did that I didn't do too
sick.
good at, and it's just about like it's just about like waging war with your inner demons before you have to face the ones out there, kind of.
That's
thing,
sick, dude.
It's,
Hell yeah. I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's gonna be good. But like you'll see, it's unique, and I think that's like a really cool thing because my style isn't something I see anywhere, and it's not for everybody. But man, like when people fuck with it,
Oh,
I get some applause. That's like, damn, that means a lot. Like that.
Absolutely,
people are feeling
man.
That on me, man.
You could pull inspiration from anywhere.
Hell yeah. So we got a question here from Goofy Goobs. What do you think of metal covers of classical music? Like, have you heard any of that stuff? Like,
metal covers of classical music.
Yeah, like they do the Beethoven
I
stuff.
haven't,
Super shreddy,
but I think it would be sick.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. I mean,
they're all
I
pretty
hear
awesome,
classical
man.
music and death metal very close,
Yeah, I
and how
agree,
they're written
man.
and everything.
Very technical music.
Very technical.
You have to pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yo, we can cut it pretty much here. Let me ask you like one or two more questions, and we'll call it a day. So I want to know what's like your like if you could have a tour with like, let's say you and 3 other bands, who would they be? Like your dream tour, and what would the tour be named?
Dream tour for us. Oh man. Damn. Rivers of Nihil, Black Crown Initiate.
Oh fuck yeah, let's go.
Brad Yeager.
Oh, yeah.
The Antidote.
That's amazing.
And that's it.
Yo, let's make it fucking happen. Let's make it happen. That's
We're making
awesome.
it happen right now.
All right, last thing, man. I just want you to tell me. I want you to tell your bandmates out there like how you feel about them right now after the tour.
Dude, I love you guys. We got sweaty, we got dirty, but we had a good time. I'm very grateful and thankful to have you guys and to be able to play music with you guys. And I'm thankful and grateful for everyone who came out, hung out with all of us. I
You have
couldn't
to
ask for a
have
better
an
tour.
amazing
Couldn't ask for a better
like
group of
fan
dudes.
base. Yeah.
And Brad, thank you
Dude.
so much for having me.
Yeah, finally came
Yeah.
onto the show. Any last shout outs you want to give, bro, before we call it a day?
My brother. I love him.
Sammy D.
And that's it.
One of my best friends, dude.
Yeah, dude. I got to pee so fucking bad.
Yo, it's all good, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Brad. Thank you, man.